Can we put some names to things because, everybody knows what their quads and hamstrings are and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But not what is the Levator Annie
Oh,
group that's like three different muscles and then God, I'm trying to read my anatomy book from college in my head and it's all blurry. It's been too long.
totally. Yeah. So you've got three. We'll think about it in a few different layers. So you've got superficial pelvic floor muscles, middle pelvic floor muscles, and deep
And
pelvic floor
that
muscles.
goes like relative to the outside of your body.
Yeah.
So the deep ones are closer to like your internal organs and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And the superficial ones are closer to the skin.
Okay.
Yeah. And so superficial ones are going to be like pubocox. I'm sorry. I just like blanked for a second.
That's fine.
Ischiocavernosus, superficial transverse perineum. And then, so you've got those muscles. And then as you go deeper, you have the sphincter muscles are like the second layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the deeper muscles are going to be the levator ani.
Yeah.
And you've got different ones there, puborectalis, coccygeus.
Yeah. And then how do you work on working those? Like, is there a thigh master for your?
Yeah. Oh, there are. So you
I just
have,
got a crazy ass just. I'm interested to see what
Yeah.
you're about to say, but the
Well-
thigh master is crazy.
you have to figure out like how they're not working, and then
Uh-huh.
you'll know how to work them.
Mm.
But let's say they're not turning on at all. Like
Mhm.
some people, there's just like you work with them and they just like can't get it to turn on at all.
Mm-hmm.
So those people, there's an electrical stim protocol with like a internal probe. You like turn the stim on and it turns the muscle on, kind of like you guys have seen with the quad,
Mm-hmm.
like muscle activation, like Russian stim or neuromuscular electrical stimulation after like a knee injury or something.
Mm-hmm.
Rip.
Same kind of thing, but in the pelvic floor.
Yeah.
So if they're not turning on at all, you can do that. We can also like work with people verbally to like get them to turn on or use biofeedback. Okay, so that's one category. They don't turn on at all.
Mm-hmm.
Another category is they're super tight, and so they're just not working well and they're not flexible. And people can be weak too, not so much weak, but people can have symptoms because not necessarily because of weakness, but because the muscle is tight and just not working. It doesn't move. It doesn't have the flexibility that it needs to be functional.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other category is just like being uncoordinated.
Yeah.
Like just doesn't turn on at the right time. So it just depends on how like what you want to target, what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You can totally like sit down and try to activate your pelvic floor. That's great. You want to think like, are you actually activating your pelvic floor, or are you just getting other muscles and you just think you're activating your pelvic floor, or are you actually turning it on? It's not bad to have other muscles help support, like bring in pelvic floor muscle activation, but if you only have like the supportive muscles and no pelvic floor, that would
Yeah.
be a
Yeah,
problem.
having just worked in the profession, I don't even know how I've gotten down this path so many times, but like I know just like with my wife, like she's done Kegels for a long time, but she always talks about like she's like it's just not working. So maybe if those kind of things aren't working, maybe it's you do need to go see somebody because it's not that. It's just same thing in our world when some kids are like, oh, my hamstrings are tight. Like that doesn't necessarily mean it's because your hamstrings are tight. Like that could mean a whole host of other things that are pulling or pushing. So don't just start stretching that thing.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. So do you find like I like his example of the tight hamstring because a lot of times things tighten up to protect something else.
Yeah.
Like you get immobility in your hamstring or something because you got back issues and your body's trying to be like, don't bend over. I don't like that, And
Yeah.
so do you have is there similar like one of the things I get frustrated with when talking about kinesiology or like the way people move is how simplified we make it sometimes, like I remember I tore my bicep tendon and like the weirdest things would be like bicep tendon pain. And it's like, I'm not even using that arm. Why is it mad at me right now?